If I Were the Devil, Paul Harvey, 1965. This is hands down one of my favorite literary works. I remember hearing it 20 years ago as a teen and it sent chills down my spine. You could tell easily how far down this rabbit hole we had already gone. Unfortunately, not too much has changed, other than we are further down that hole. We have decades of climbing back out to do. However, I believe in the goodness of the people and the American people to find a way to get it done. This speech was broadcast by legendary ABC radio commentator Paul Harvey on April 3rd, 1965. If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I would, of course, want to engulf the whole earth in darkness. I would have a third of its real estate and a four-fifths of its population, but I would not be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree, so I should set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I would begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, "Do as you please, do as you please." To the young, I would whisper, "The Bible is a myth." I would convince them that man had created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what is bad is good, and what is good is square. In the ears of young marrieds, I would whisper that work is debasing, that cocktail parties are good for you. I would caution them not to be extreme in religion, in patriotism, in moral conduct. And the old, I would teach to pray. I would teach them to say after me, "Our Father, which art in Washington." If I were the devil, I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. And then, if I were the devil, I'd get organized. I'd infiltrate unions and urge more loafing and less work because idle hands usually work for me. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction, and I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Let those run wild. I would designate an atheist to front for me before the highest courts in the land, and I would get preachers to say, "She's right." With flattery and promises of power, I could get the courts to rule what I construe as against God and in favor of pornography, and thus I would evict God from the courthouse, and then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress, and then in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion, and I would deify science, because that way men would become smart enough to create super weapons, but not wise enough to control them. If I were Satan, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg, and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I would take those who have, and I would give to those who wanted, until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And then my police state would force everybody back to work. Then I could separate families, putting children in uniform, women in coal mines, and objectors in slave camps. In other words, if I were Satan, I'd just keep on doing what he's doing. Paul Harvey, good day. Stay strong. Stay very strong. If you like our content and what we are doing here, this is our blog that you can see in the comments here in the section there in the description. Click it there. It's a free newsletter. Talk about what we're doing in the investment world, how to navigate, opt out of the system and navigate the chaos that is coming in the investment world, and just getting ourselves prepared. The 5Gs, just prepping, survival, getting ready for the chaos that is going to ensue, like the 7 stages of empire that always come throughout time. This always happens. Chaos will ensue. The fourth turning. How are we going to prepare? How are we going to prepare ourselves and our family, our spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional lives to prepare for what's coming? So appreciate you. Like, comment here, and subscribe. Please let us know what you like, what you don't like, and we'll see you on the next one.